We're going to have Shabbos Sefer, the beginning of Sefer Devarim, Parshas Devarim, Shabbos Chazon, the Shabbos for Tisha B'Av. Want us to wonder, Sefer Devarim begins always, Parshas Devarim, Shabbos for Tisha B'Av. What's the connection between Devarim and Tisha B'Av? So the connection that most commentaries point out is the fact that there is the word Eicha in Sefer Devarim, which we in fact even say the pasuk, we say with the tune of Eicha, the tune of Tisha B'Av. Eicha es olavadi, how am I going to carry this alone? That Moshe Rabbeinu is giving rebuke to the people and telling them that you rejected my leadership, and it forced me to have to share that leadership with others and to bring in judges, and because it was impossible for me to be able to carry Torchem, Maschem, Rivchem. Well, you're fighting with each other and you're bickering and all the problems that you were having. And this was one of the three that prophesies with the word Eicha. Shows us that what happens in the beginning, which leads to the middle, which leads to Eicha Yoshva Badad, which leads to the terrible tragedy at the end of Jerusalem being desolate, that if we have difficulty with each other, and if we don't put that in check, and we don't deal with that, so then in the end, it's going to end up in horrific things. That's very often the way that we explain the end. We explain the connection between Sefer Devarim and Tisha B'Av, and the impending Tisha B'Av. Maybe there's a different perspective. Sefer Devarim is called Mishnah Torah. It's called the repetition of the Torah, but there is no repetition. It's not that Moshe Rabbeinu now giving his final 36-day speech, and then he's repeating sections of the Torah. So much of it is new. There are 70 laws in these parshos, in this sefer, that are brand new laws that are given to them for the first time. The concept of Har Gerizim and Har Evel, the two mountains, when they come into Israel, that they split up into the two mountains to get the blessings and the curses. That's for the first time. The aspects of the holidays, the concept of Aliyah L'Regel, of going up 3 times a year to the Beis Hamikdash, all these things are new. The whole agricultural aspect of the holidays, all that stuff is new. Because what's going on here in Sefer Devarim? That the Torah is preparing a people about to enter the land for the changes that are necessitated by the transition to this new lifestyle in Israel. They're going to be living now not with man, they're going to be living now not with clouds, they're going to be living now not with magical water. They're going to be living now with planting and plowing and working and having to worry about a parnas and having to worry about things. And if that's the case, life is going to change, and is going to change dramatically. And therefore we need to be taught those laws, and we need to be empowered with those laws that are going to be able to shape us into this new transition, to this new life. There are many mitzvahs of Avodah Zarah that are mentioned in Sefer Devarim, because now we're going to come in contact with Ovdei Avodah Zarah, with people that worship idols, the false prophets, rebellious leaders, weights, measures, all that are new situations that we're going to come across. Eating meat is now going to change, because we're not going to be living right around the Mishkan. That means meat won't be as available to us from the temple, from the tabernacle, and therefore we need to have shchita. We need to have the mitzvahs of kisei adam, of ever min hachai, of not eating a limb from the live animal. Yovel, Shemitah, Meiser Sheni. Now we're going to have the laws that attach to the land of Israel. Everybody is not going to be equal now. Now you're going to have rich people and poor people. So we need the mitzvah tzedakah of how you deal with your workers and how you deal with properties. Devarim is getting a new generation of Bnei Yisrael ready for a sea change in lifestyle. It's not the content that earns it the name Mishnah Torah. It's not that things are being repeated, because most of the things are being said for the first time, but it's the message of the Sefer that's being repeated. That it's the message of the oneness of Hashem, of the Dveikus of Hashem, of Avos Hashem, of Yiras Shamayim, of fear of God, of Limud Torah, of the limit of Torah of the individuals, limit of Torah of the rabbim, of the community. Chinuch banim, not adding on to the Torah, not detracting from the Torah. Shema, Tefillin, Mezuzah, Brichas Hamazon, all of these concepts are repeated to us to make sure that we understand and to reinforce that when you live like a Jew, that's when you're going to meet success. And as you're about to change your life now, you're about to go into a new transition, into a new existence, strengthen yourself as a Jew. Because if you strengthen yourself as a Jew, then you will have success. That's the message of Sefer Devarim. That's the beginning of the message is in Parshas Devarim. And that's what I need to hear. When I recognize that I am in gullus, and I'm in darkness, and I'm in pain, comes the Shabbos before Tisha B'Av, and we're reminded, guess what? This is going to end. This is going to be done. And very soon, you're going to walk back into Eretz Yisrael the way it's meant to be. There's going to be a Beis HaMikdash. It's going to be built b'meira v'yameinu. And if you just hold on and you strengthen yourself as a Yid, in Avos Hashem, in Yiras Shamayim, in observance of commandments, of living like a Jew, no matter where you are, then you're going to see the geulah, you're going to see the redemption. And that's what Sefer Devarim, that's what Parshas Devarim gives me, is mechazik me, strengthens me with. It's not just because it says Eicha, not just because it reminds me that if I don't take care of myself, I'm going to collapse. But it gives me this positive message that you're about to transition. Oh, I can't say it's going to be tomorrow. I can't say it's going to be next year. But you're about to transition. You're in the process of that transition. And as you're in the process of that transition, just hang on, strengthen yourself. Because as painful as this is, the joy and the beauty that awaits you, the blessing that awaits you, is something incredible. I had the schus to sit by the Kotel last night. A bunch of my members and I went to the Kotel Thursday night before Tisha B'Av. We and thousands of other people had the same idea. The place was packed, streaming with people. We were left at 11 o'clock, and people, parents, kids, strollers, streaming in. Just to stand there and get a little chizuk. Just to stand by the Kotel and to say, this is soon going to be the building. This is soon going to be the Beis HaMikdash. This is soon going to be back in our hands. We're on our way into Eretz Yisrael the way it's meant to be. And you had not a sense of pain and gullus, but you were able to stand there and have a sense of, wow, this is being rebuilt. Wow, we're on our way up. Wow, things are going to change. This is that moment that we're preparing to go in to the geulah shlema. I imagine I was going to walk away from the Kotel last night. I had an opportunity to give a shir to my chavra with a sense of emptiness. And I walked away so on fire, so encouraged, so uplifted. Because as I stood there with everybody else, I saw not destruction, but I saw rebuilding. I saw transition. I saw the new beginning. That's what the Shabbos is meant to mean to us. The Shabbos is meant to give us that encouragement. The Shabbos is meant to give us that chizuk. It's meant to give us that strength. Hold on, because the geulah is coming. Have a beautiful, amazing Shabbos. Uplift yourself and prepare yourself, so that when we sit on the floor in Tisha B'Av, we can feel like we're sitting there for the last time. And that it's just a preparation. It's just a chizuk. It's just holding on to be able to get ourselves to the goal, which is to get ourselves to the geulah shlema. B'mheira v'yameinu, amen.